This is the most expensive dinner in the world. Each person can only eat it once in their lifetime. But the waiter brought an empty plate. As the diners were puzzled, the mystery was revealed. After the other chefs finished their moment of silence, they carried the body into the kitchen. Soon, a high-end Western meal was presented to everyone. At this point, the head chef revealed the truth. Tonight's ingredients were none other than the guests themselves. As soon as he finished speaking, the scene erupted into chaos. At this moment, a wealthy man tried to leave, but was stopped by the manager, who said that all the boats had already left the shore and no one would be able to leave alive today. The wealthy man immediately said he could call a private plane.
With which hand will you handle this, left or right?
Just as the wealthy man thought the manager was talking nonsense, the manager, who had received a hint from the head chef, made the decision for him.
Very well, left hand.
The wealthy man was then forcibly held down by several burly men, and the restaurant was thrown into chaos. Everyone finally realized that their fate was in someone else's hands. Unable to escape, they could only obey. Only Jack remained calm in the restaurant. Lisa looked at the man in front of her in disbelief, then walked straight over to the chef. Lisa wanted to ask him why he was doing this, but the chef asked her who she really was. It turned out that he already knew Lisa wasn't one of the invited guests, but it didn't matter. He stated that everyone would die that night, and asked Lisa if she wanted to join the guests or his team. Lisa asked what the difference was. The chef replied that the outcome would be the same. In other words, whether guest or chef, no one on this island would survive the night. Upon hearing this, Lisa broke down. She walked up to Jack and slapped him angrily. It was all his fault that she had suffered this misfortune. Some guests tried to escape, picking up chairs and smashing them against the floor-to-ceiling windows, but the glass was unusually sturdy and couldn't be broken. At that moment, the head chef approached an elderly man who had dined there 11 times over the past 5 years. The head chef asked him to name one of the dishes he had eaten, but the old man couldn't answer. At this point, the chef was furious that the dishes that he had made with all his heart and soul were worthless in the eyes of the customers, just like the restaurant's investors, who dared to alter his menu. He simply didn't understand what art was. Thus, he became the chef's first target for punishment. The investor was hanging in the air wearing wings. At the chef's command, the investor slowly descended until he fell into the water and died. The black billionaire immediately lost his composure and told the chef to name his price, as he had plenty of money. At that moment, one of the customers recognized that the man who had just fallen into the water was a Forbes list tycoon. It seemed that the path of using money to save one's life had been blocked. Just as the customers were feeling despair, the head chef led everyone to the courtyard, and gave all the male guests 60 seconds to escape. After that, he would send people to catch them, and the first one caught would become the ingredients for the next dish. As soon as he finished speaking, one of the men took off running. The others, seeing this, also abandoned their female companions and prepared to leave. Only Jack seemed unwilling to go, but the chef forced him to show at least some respect for the game. When 60 seconds were up, the muscular chefs gave chase. Only a few women returned to the restaurant to continue enjoying their meal. Soon after, the black millionaire with the severed finger was brought back first. The others were also captured one after another. Even the fastest man was brought back from the small boat. One man who had hidden himself thought he was clever, but little did he know that the next moment, a dish would be served to his mouth. Thus, the guests were brought back to the restaurant. However, before the next dish was served, the head chef had to resolve a small issue first.